So this is actually our cornfield. We've harvested, or we've planted, I don't remember how long ago, probably 3-4 years ago was the last time.
That's tough about the water.
Yeah, so my grandma was talking about how there used to be like springs and seeps, and we've had like, it was easy to get water from like the washes and stuff, because they would, apparently the water used to just come to the surface. But yeah, the water was, there was ways to get water out here, and in her probably in her lifetime, like she saw that, and then in my mom's lifetime, she saw it probably like very early in her life.
Yeah.
And then I probably won't ever see them in my lifetime, which is very, very sad. And then my grandma mentioned the mining that happened.
Peabody.
Yeah, so they were pumping so much water from the aquifer, and they used it just for, I think it was, they used it for to transport coal to Nevada. So it was just used as a way to transport coal. It wasn't used for like anything else really. It was just to, when it's clean drinking water, and it was, I've heard it call ice age water. So it's like really, really pristine, and so it was used just for transportation.
For dirty resources.
Yeah, and it was just used for that, and of course you can't use it after you do that to it. So yeah, I've heard that's, yeah. So that's the impacts that we live with from that mining, and then of course people who live closer, it's a lot more of the health impacts, like the asthma and the lungs and stuff like that.
Because coal in the air.
Yeah. So, and then of course the land over there, they're doing reclamation right now, and this is the work that I kind of like got into. Is like I've been surrounded by work like this where people have been like, where we've tried to bring awareness of this and say, hey, like that's a lot of water you're using, and we don't have water anymore out here. So like now we have to haul our water. We didn't always have to do that. Yeah. So yeah, this is where we get the name of the Navajo name of this place, is because of this this rock face.
Okay, so this is actually the origin, the name of of here. So since we're walking over there, so what's the story behind the whole Peabody?
So they came in like over 50 years ago, and they didn't really consult with communities and people living on Black Mesa, and they kind of just, is like, oh, we're going to be doing this, and you're going to prosper, like, get revenue, and you're going to be, you're going to thrive. We're going to make communities like, we're going to bring in like, we're going to bring in jobs and stuff like that. So it's kind of just like, you're going to benefit from this, so you should let us kind of like come in. And people were not aware of the impacts that they were going to have while being here. So, and there are things happening today that are, that same pattern of not educating people on what they're doing and what they want to do on Navajo land. So it's kind of like the same cycle over again. So the work that a lot of people are that I'm doing, well, the organization that I work for that are doing, it's a lot of it's about education and just getting people to realize what's happening and to kind of get the whole truth, and to get details that corporations are not.
So what's the name of the organization you work for?
To Nizhoni Ani. So it's Sacred Water Speaks. It was established in 2000, 2001. And yeah, it started out advocating for water, basically, because there was no more water. Yeah.
No more clean water.
Yeah,
So
and then the work that I kind of specifically work in, I grew up in around organizations like this and work like this, and so it's been a huge part of my upbringing. It kind of just like instilled this environmental, like the cultural instillment, and then this work, it kind of like connects and everything. So being around that, and it's kind of like why I'm doing it now.
Yeah. Because
I've known the importance of all of it growing up, and it's just been a huge part of my life, and it's and I want to keep doing it because it allows me to advocate for like where I come from and the land that I live on and where my family's from and stuff like that. So in the culture, that's all tied into it also.
So since you've seen both sides of that, of boots on the ground with the signs up, getting public attention, and then now start working on behind closed doors, or not closed doors, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Working at a desk on policies, which side do you think is more beneficial?
I think they're both equally very important. The young people like to do the
visual, get your attention.
They like to do that. That's what we use, like that. I think youth are very good in those spaces because, they can bring attention better in those spaces. And then the policy work is more of, that's very important too. And it's a lot more of like getting to talk with, I guess, leadership and stuff like that, and getting to know. Like
decision makers.
Basically like working in the system and working with the system. Yeah. Well, at least to me, it seems like I've seen more of this side of work as well. Yeah. So, but I mean, they're both very important, and they both work together.
Well, because you definitely hit more of you're hitting the visual learner, then you're hitting more of the literacy learner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it too. Yeah. After high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And of course, I graduated, and then the pandemic happened. Yeah, and then I took my time because I was like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I'm not really in any rush to finish in school. So I just it was just one thing after another. During that time, I was working, and then I was also doing stuff with To Nizhoni Ani TNA. It's been a big part of my life, and it's why all of that work is tied into why I really love home and why I love things, being out here and stuff. And so I'm like, maybe if I find a field that will allow me to keep doing these things and allow me to be at home and allow me to also protect home and stuff like that and work towards that. And so I chose, well, at first at Dine College, I chose agroecology and environmental science. And then we have the TNA has an office in Flagstaff too. Yeah. So I chose CCC and in Flagstaff.
What is CCC?
Coconino Community College.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that's in Flagstaff.
Oh, okay. Actually, I think I almost went to that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was like 20 years ago, I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So I joined. I'm in CCC now, and I'm living in Flagstaff for school, and then of course in the summer I'm going to be back here. Yeah. So. And then I work at the office that TNA has in Flagstaff as an office assistant. So I'm just helping out on the administrative side too. So that's part-time, and that school's full-time. So it's a switch.
What projects are you working on with them on that?
So I'm the project lead. So it's I'm not like a botanist or anything like that. Yeah. But it's called a project lead. So it was me and 2 other college interns.
Yeah.
And close friends of mine's, and then we had a botanist named Arnold Clifford who we worked with last summer, and this project came out of the organization's realization that, so after Peabody left, or they're doing reclamation right now, but after they stopped coal operations and mining and stuff, they are doing reclamation now, and that's in partners with the Office of Surface Mining, and then of course the Navajo Nation. So all those, they're all trying to reclaim the area, the lands and stuff that they were using for mining, and a lot of it's like reseeding, and trying to get the land back into its original form. And I've gone on a few of the mine tours that they had, and we went on these tours and we saw like what they were planting and stuff, and the lands that they were reclaiming, and it's really, I got there and I was like, this is reclaimed land. Like I don't know, I didn't know how to, I don't know how to explain it. It's just how I felt, but like it was just really interesting that I saw a diagram before of like what they said they were going to be planting, and when I got there I was like, I don't really see it. It's a lot more of like grasses and plants from like I saw some from what do you call it, the Midwest, so like very tall grass.
So so I think I envision what they could have possibly envisioned as well too. They think Plains Indians will also apply to the other Plains Indians, but we're not. So they're applying the same ecosystem.
I don't know what their strategy was, or like what their plan was, but a lot of the plants that I saw there, I don't see here. Like
they're not indigenous.
Yeah. Or they may be native, but not to like
this area.
Yep.
So what would be the environmental impact with that?
So we've already seen, we've already heard like statements from like community members or people who live in that area. Yeah. And they're like, my sheep don't eat it. My sheep don't eat those grass, and my cows don't eat that grass. And so it's like, okay, well, why? And I've heard like from their end, the corporation end, and the official end, their statements were something like, oh well, this is like, what do you call it, grazing, like this is pasture grass, or like it's meant for livestock grazing. And the people are like, my livestock don't eat that. So it's a very interesting situation happening there, and it's just like, well, and you can see the line, the fencing, where the reclaimed land is on the side and then the untouched land is on the other side. Huge difference. And like here you have like pine and juniper, and then of course the native grasses and plants, and you have like stuff like the snakeweed, and then you have stuff like sage, and then you have stuff like the Indian rice grass, and all of these different variety of plants on one side, and that's untouched, and you get to see like what actually grew on the land and what grows on the land versus what they're planting. And it's a lot of like just straight up straight tall grass that you would see.
Yes, it's like plains grass.
Yeah.
It's just straight, and you just see fields of it.
Yeah.
So what does that do to herbalists? So
herbalists, if you are trying to pick from the lands that the reclaimed areas, if you're trying to pick from that side, you probably aren't going to find the variety or like the certain plants that you are looking for on that you would see on the untouched side. Yeah. For herbalists, I think it'll be very hard to find plants that you can use And for like medicine men, that's I don't think you're gonna find what you're looking for there.
I feel like it's kind of a cop-out, right? At least from my point of view, of this company who's doing all this reclaiming and reseeding, seems like they're taking a cheap way out.
They're trying to get it looks like that they're just trying to hurry up and just do something and then just, like, okay, we're going.
We made our money. Here you go.
Like, here's a quick, like,
here's a quick fix.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like they're really trying to, I don't know, like bring it back and, I guess, fix it. Shoot, I forgot the way they said it, but basically they were supposed to
we'll leave it.
Return it the way it was found, or before they did anything, basically.
But parentheses, in our own eyes.
Yes. So it's very interesting that they're what they're doing there, and I'm just like, So anyways, TNA's realization that we need to know more about these plants. We need to know more about what we're talking about, and like, we want to be, basically just educating ourselves on the plant species. And Black Mesa just has a diverse variety of like flora, and we have a lot of different plants and stuff and different medicines. And according to Arnold, it's a place that nobody's probably ever like really studied before. So he was very excited to like come out and like check it out, and like we started collecting out here and stuff like that. So it was very fun for him, I think, and it was very fun for us, the college interns. And so what we're doing, what TNA wants to do with all of what we've done, is they want to, I guess the end goal is to create a catalog or a database of some sort, an herbarium maybe, and then just have this. Basically, we're doing our own study. So we have the resource we need to say, hey, these are not.
Because you're going off of your own data at that point.
And then we're like, these are not the plants that you probably should be planting here, and just to bring awareness in that way. So
how far away is Black Mesa?
So we're sitting on Black Mesa.
Oh, we are.
Yes. So it's actually where Culture Center, where you got to the Culture Center, the Mesa is here up into you'll see it drop as you're going towards Kayenta. So the mine is up that way, and then it drops, and then you see the road from Tuba City to Kayenta. And so when you're on that drive from Tuba City to Kayenta, you'll see the walls. They're the huge, the plateau, basically. So
plateau. Okay. All right. Well, I played ignorance on that.
but there's actually a community called Black Mesa Tsé that is just over here. Very old petroglyphs. Yeah. So like the horse and the guy sitting on it, that's more modern. Like that's more recently.
50s or something like that.
Yeah. Whereas like
the dotted ones in the back, that looks a lot older.
Yeah. There's more that way too.
Yeah.
But
you ever see any with like sky people and everything?
Sky people? Yeah. So actually this area is very I like to say, I've said before, like undiscovered, but I mean, our people have been here for a very long time, so they probably know, they've known probably like where everything is and stuff, but undiscovered to like, I guess.
The world.
So I'm just like, wow, there's probably like more of these drawings like in these in the
along
hills
the walls,
and the
everywhere.
rocks and stuff like that. So there is a place. I could take you there, but it would have to be off video.
I'm totally fine with that.
Gamble oak.
There's actually a connection that our people have with plants. There's protocols that you do when you don't just go out and start pulling stuff and putting them on paper and everything. There's something happening when you come upon a plant and you want to you have to kind of tell it, like, I'm going to take this part of you, or I'm going to do this and I'm going to use you for this, and you talk to it in that way as you're doing it. We still have those kinds of teachings here.